Yeah, I'm back again. Blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Let's go on with the bloody story and finish this thing. Okay, okay. The first time I did it, she gasped and she started to say, but that's my... But the lovely feelings I was generating her soon stopped her protests. I said finally that she'd had enough and that I should try and bring her off. So I brought a hand up to her slit and slipped a few fingers in. There was no resistance from a hymen, and I realized that she must have lost it long ago during one of the crazy stunts that Keymark Crusaders seem to always become involved in. I started to caress the top of the inside of her pussy in time with my licking, and the heated panting that I elicited showed me that an equestrian pony shared at least one more pleasure point with a human woman. And my voice seems to be changing a lot, so I apologize if I sound really weird, like I'm really low at one point, and then I'm really high at one point. That's just kind of how my voice is. I don't really have a set voice. My voice likes to change a lot. I don't know why. And at last, I felt her haunches and rump start to shiver, and her clit went rock hard between my lips. Her mouth was becoming hotter and hotter against my chin, and I knew she was coming. I kept at her clit, rubbing it between my lips until she went over to the brink, and as I looked up, wanting to enjoy what might be this little foal's first orgasm, I would assume so, I saw that she had grabbed my pillow and was biting it to stop herself from crying out. And then Sweetie came. My chin, already wet with her juices, was covered in a further gush of them as she rubbed her baby parts against my face. That's just... that's pretty fucking funny. Wanting the wonderful feelings to keep going, I stopped licking her now, too sensitive clit, and started to nip at her thighs, although I didn't stop massaging the inside of her pussy with my fingers. Finally, she sighed a long, deep sigh and slumped down onto the mattress, shivering, and I slipped back up so that our heads were on the same level and began to kiss her face all over. Now, where are the cigarettes? Okay, maybe not really. We're almost done, everybody. Yay! As I was kissing her, she considered me with her huge eyes, and there was a look that was a mixture of astonishment, satisfaction, and exhaustion in them. She didn't say anything, I don't think she could have anyway, and she merely buried her face into my chest and hugged me with all four of her feet encircling my body. But when she felt my hard-on crushed between the two of us, she pulled away a little. Oh, sorry. But Sweetie seemed... oh, sorry, I said. Why do I get confused so much? But Sweetie seemed unperturbed. Is that your penis? She asked chatly. I nodded. She sure was an inquisitive little fool. Why's it so hard? She asked. It's hard because making you feel good made me feel good too, I explained. My chest was tight with frustration, so I decided I had to take things to the next level. I took one of her forehoods and brought it down until it was touching my hard-on. Sweetie seemed to have lost a lot of her initial bashfulness after being brought to orgasm, and she began to stroke it straight away. As she did, she watched me with her huge eyes. Does it feel good if I touch it? Really good, I said. Sweetie was so enthusiastic. The feeling of that soft hoof against my dick was amazing. But I wasn't going to settle for a hoof job now that I've gotten this far. I might never get the opportunity to play with this gorgeous fool again, and I needed to go for broke and come in Sweetie Belle's little mouth. Oh my. It had become the single burning goal of my entire existence. That's one hell of an existence, buddy. So, what do you dedicate your life to? I want to come in some little pony's mouth. The fuck is wrong with you, bro? I don't know. Everything. I don't get it. So, I said, but it feels even better if you put it in your mouth. Sweetie was eager to please, and without a single word of protest, she lowered her head down to my dick. And she looked at it for a short while, her breath hot against it. But then she opened her mouth and took it inside. I grimaced in pleasure at the feeling of her hot mouth enveloping my dick. Just suck it like a lolly, I told her. But just be a little careful with your teeth, because it's really sensitive. I have the weirdest boner right now. She nodded. She wasn't bad for a first-timer, but the fact that my dick was in an innocent little fool's mouth added such an added level of taboo to the entire experience that I was already on the brink of coming. Excuse me. 1 second. Perhaps it's not my best idea to do this one after another. Don't care though. Sweetie ran her mouth up and down the length, and she even took it out and licked it a few times. Sucking on the tip and running her little... fuck, I lost my place. Sucking on the tip and running her little pony tongue along the base of it, including the ultra-sensitive part under the glands. Oh my... After I gasped when she did that for the first time, the cute little kid quickly realized that it was like her own little clit, and paid particular attention to it. And the amazing feelings jetting up from my spine from my dick were not going to ebb away this time, I realized. So I forced myself to open my eyes and watch as I came in Sweetie Belle's mouth. Kinky. The moonlight spilling through the window meant that I could see everything clearly, and I blasphemously thanked Princess Luna for providing such a perfect scene for me. That's just... I really hope she doesn't know that you just did that, dude. Sweetie's eyes were closed in concentration as she sucked. But then she realized I was looking down at her, and she opened them, and as soon as I saw the entire tableau of the curly-haired unicorn foal looking at me with a hard dick going in and out of her mouth, I came. Well, didn't he just do that? Apparently not. The first squirt of cum was huge. Huge! I hadn't really had much of an opportunity to bring myself recently, and I'd stored up quite a bit, and now thick, gooey strands were filling up the poor little foal's mouth. Douchebag. I would have felt like a total criminal if I hadn't been in the throes of one of the most intense orgasms of my life. Because that obviously makes everything better. Totally. I felt like I was coming my brains out. That's just disturbing. And Sweetie started to choke a little, but I managed to get enough self-control in my days to pull my dick out of her mouth so she could breathe. I was still spurting, and white strands splattered over the foal's muzzle as she gasped for air. The first load of my cum spilling out of her mouth and onto the sheets. You're gonna have to clean that up, dude. I was trying to keep from moaning, but it was impossible. What can you do? I brought my hand down, and when I whacked off until the last waves of my orgasm finally ebbed away. Yep, ebbed. That's a weird word. As I sighed, satisfied and still tingling with pleasure, I finally looked back down and saw that Sweetie was spitting out the rest of my cum, and I suddenly regretted being so selfish. I slipped my arms under her forehooves and lifting her up, bringing a corner of the top sheet to her face and wiping the sticky mixture of cum and saliva off her muzzle. Of her mouth and muzzle. Why can't I talk today? I'm sorry if I sound terrible. I can't talk for crap right now. Why? That was beyond me. 1 second. Okay, better. The foal spat out the last of my cum. Oh, wait. Crap. I'm so sorry, Sweetie, I said. I didn't realize so much would come out. It's been a while since I've done that. The foal spat out the last of my cum and wiped her tongue with the sheet, and then she looked at me. Did I do okay? She asked, her voice disarmingly innocent. I sighed, shaking my head. You were totally amazing. I embraced the little foal and drew her body against mine, kissing her neck and nibbling on her ears until she was giggling and gasping. Are you sure you've never done that before? I asked. What the fuck kind of question is that, dude? I mean, she's a little foal! If she actually did do that before, that'd be terrifying! Terrifying! Oh hey, we're at the end of the story, everybody! Yay! Nope, never, she replied, a self-satisfied look on her adorable face. Well, you are an instant expert, I said. Wow, she said, cuddling up to me and looking up into my eyes, her own huge green ones sparkling intensely. And then she piped up in sudden excitement. Hey, do you think? Do I think what? I asked. I was feeling pretty tired, and I realized that as much as I adore having her sleep with me in bed for the rest of the night so I could play for some more while she was asleep, I realized she'd have to go back to bed or the other two foals might suspect something. You think I got my cutie mark? She asked, her voice alive with hope. Oh God! I almost cried out, but I must make it a hoarse whisper. I sure as hell hope not. It wasn't the only time I got to fool around with one of the cutie mark series. But for now, this is the end. On that note, yay! That was my first ever reading. Holy fuck, I chose a long one. If you guys like that, yay, let me know. If you didn't like it, tell me what's wrong. And if you don't like it just because you don't like My Little Pony, I'm gonna love and tolerate the shit out of you. How does that sound? Huh? How does it sound? What a thought. I'm gonna get love and tolerate the shit out of. If anybody has a request for a reading, let me know, and I will probably do it, Why? Because I'm insane and I like these kind of things. Holy fuck, I've been talking for a while. Anywho, story made by Hot Sauce. I'll include the story in the description. And, yeah, for story. And again, anything you want me to read, let me know. Leave a like, dislike, give me feedback, etc., etc. And I will see you for the next reading, I suppose. And I might do it right after I upload this one. So, I don't know. Yay! Yay! I'm still recording, by the way. I don't know why. Cat, you got anything to say? Yeah, I'm just prolonging this, aren't I? Yep, I am. And by the way, I'm not cutting this out. Yeah. Why am I saying it? You know what? Fuck it. Bye.